So we are now recording and transcribing. If you all have any questions during the presentation, I think you can go into the chat and just chat something up there. What's this Q&A? I don't know what that is. I guess attendees can post in the Q&A. I don't know, either Q&A or chat. I'll see it pop up. If you have a question that you want me to stop, just raise your hand as well, and that way I'll stop and move on from there. So we are ready to get started. So why don't we do that? Hi, everybody. I'm Rob Manfredi with Bamboo Solutions. And today we are super excited to show you a preview of a new product for SharePoint Online that we've been under development for called Org Chart Plus. This is the, I believe, second new product this year that we've released. The first one was Employee Directory Plus. And this one is Org Chart Plus. So we're going to get into the details of that, how it works, how you can find it, how you can start a trial, how the pricing works, and the functionality. The product should be released in the next 2 weeks. I will, of course, let you all know when it is released so that you can go ahead and grab a trial version of this product when we get started. I see a couple of people just jumping in. Thanks for joining the webinar. I'm Rob Manfredi. We're about to get started. We're going to break this into three parts. Quick overview PowerPoint of Bamboo, the product and pricing. We'll do a quick tour of the website so you know how to find the product and how to add a trial. Our trials are free for 30 days with full support from our team. And there is no credit card or purchase required to start the trial. So it's not a something you need to buy and then you turn it off or anything like that. But we'll get into all of that once we get started. All right, so those of you, I see a couple of familiar customers in here and a couple new folks. So as you all may know, Bamboo is a leading provider of enterprise software and applications for Microsoft 365 and on-prem SharePoint, but we also provide consulting services as well. So we've had over 8,000 customers download and try our products. We've got over 2,000 customers on active maintenance, so we've got a very lively user base, both on-prem and in the cloud. I would say 80% of what we're selling these days is our SharePoint Online products, which are available both through our website and the Microsoft App Source. So we've got we believe just a whole new group of lovers of SharePoint that we've never met before, but are finding us through our ad campaigns, trying our products out and buying them. So we've been on this journey for a number of years. Since the 2007 version of SharePoint on-prem, we've been building products. So we still maintain about 50 products that currently support 2016, 2019, and SPSE 2022. And then, of course, we have about 25 products for SharePoint Online. So we've got a very rich group of products and customers. The SharePoint Online products, we started developing those in about 3-4 years ago. So we're on definitely version 3, 4 of all the classic products such as Calendar Plus and Group Redirect and Knowledge Base, PMC, et cetera, but we've also been developing products that only exist in SharePoint Online because there's some features there that we can take advantage of that allow us to create these products. These SharePoint Online products do not work on-prem. Unfortunately, the SharePoint framework for on-prem, the modern experience on SPSE, 2022 and 2019 is so different than the framework in SharePoint Online. Now, Microsoft is saying they're going to bring those frameworks together so that these products will eventually work on-prem. But really, in the on-prem world, you need to stick with our web parts that are .NET based, installed on the server. And there are some 50 of those as well. But this product here is not available on SharePoint on-prem. So we also have a whole services team that we hope you take advantage of. We're a team of 40 people, so we're a small company, but we definitely punch above our weight. We've launched a new service called the Microsoft 365 Plus program. We love our pluses here at Bamboo. And that's actually a managed service that allows us to be a help desk essentially for all of your SharePoint users, whether it's OneDrive sync issues, whether it's onboarding, offboarding devices and users, creating groups, anything that's related to Azure or Active Directory. Exchange, Teams. Our team is here to support you and your users for as low as $40 per user per month. So that's a really nice feature. You also get any of our consulting services at a discounted rate as well. So if that's of interest to you, where you want to not always have to go to Microsoft when you open a ticket, but have somebody who's a little more accountable, a little more close, a little more responsive, we'd love to be that intermediary for you and provide the support for what your users need. So let's get into the product, Org Chart Plus. Let's do a little overview of it, and then we'll go through how it's priced. Look at that. That is not even right. That is supposed to say Org Chart Plus, but we'll just say it says Org Chart Plus. So what it is a filterable org chart that is pulled from Active Directory. So the source of data that we're pulling for organizational structure is coming from Active Directory. We're using the Graph API from SharePoint Online to access that information. Within the product itself, there are action buttons. So each user has action buttons to start a chat, make a call, send an email, things like that. So once you do navigate through the organizational structure, you can call that person or set up a meeting with them as well. We currently support 2 different org chart views, which we'll see in the demo. And then in the release, not in this upcoming release, we will have configurable starting nodes. So let's say you wanted to show the org chart for a specific department, a specific region, a specific business unit. You could query that, filter out everything else, and then start the node at the top of that region 1 manager or what have you, so that you can create a whole bunch of little org charts for your different departments through your SharePoint Online sites. So pretty cool, pretty neat. Now, the end result is an org chart, but there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that allow this thing to be very performant, configurable, and also avoid any issues related to throttling. So this Org Chart Plus allows you to filter results from the directory. There's Directory Plus again. Into which we grab through the Graph API, and we get that employee data and reporting structure from Active Directory, right? Within the Graph API, the product, the web part itself, has a whole series of filters that allow you to grab just a subset of data. So we have 2 types of filtering: pre-caching filtering and post-caching filtering. So for example, if you've got a very large employee base and you want to filter out, before you even grab the data, certain items, you can do that so that we're really not pulling a lot of data, only the specific data you want for that instance of Employee Directory or for Org Chart Plus. Then once you have that data, you can do some post-cache filtering as well. So this really helps eliminate a lot of the throttling issues, but also allows you to work with a subset of data, especially for you larger groups. We've got one customer with 30,000 people, but half of them or more than half of them are students, and they just don't need to pull those into the data before you start filtering it. So they filter that out in the initial query, pre-cache, so that they're only pulling in about 8,000 people into the product. And then they filter in there by departments, regions, and the like. So we've done some things to really make this thing performant as well. Oh my gosh, I must not have saved this because I changed all these. Anyway, you can see I started with Employee Directory Plus, which is very similar to Org Chart Plus, but different. So in this product, we do also have cache refresh options. So as things change in Active Directory, we can update the cache in the product on certain intervals so that we're not constantly hitting that Active Directory server every day. Because again, the information needs to be timely, but it doesn't need to be down to the second, as it were. So that's built in as well. And then we do have some safety nets when using cache. So if you want to have, if you have a large tenant, and we see that before we go and try to grab that cache, we'll ask if you want to turn on that pre-filtering to filter out any results. Otherwise, we'll just go grab it all, but it just takes some time to grab. And if you're at 30 or 40,000 people, there could be some issues, and you may want to find a way to pull down a smaller subsets of data for each of the instances of Org Chart Plus. So we're going to take a quick website tour and demo, but before we do that, I wanted to talk about our licensing and support. So the product, all of our products for SharePoint Online are not a subscription. So you're not going to get caught into a per user per month subscription, and if you stop paying, the product stops working. We provide a perpetual license for your entire SharePoint Online tenant. The product also works in teams. However, the new Teams does not support the deep dive into Graph API, so you have to be on classic Teams, but Microsoft is going to upgrade the new version of Teams to support what we need with the Graph API. But it does work in SharePoint Online, and it does work in classic Teams, and will work in the new Teams once that sort of gets up to speed internally for Microsoft. Once you've got the product, you add it simply to an app catalog. It's going to request some permissions to access the Graph API. This is not turning on any permissions for the entire domain. It's just turning on permissions to access the Graph API for this product. So we're not changing any security settings overall. Users don't have access to anything that they didn't have access to before. But we will be asking for some read access to the Graph API into Active Directory so that we can pull in the org chart structure. But once it's in your app catalog, you can put it on as many site collections as you want for as many users as you want. So that perpetual license and maintenance model is really a benefit. The product is first year, $3,995. That includes first year maintenance. Second year is 22% of that price, so it would be roughly $890 a year to stay on maintenance, and that includes both product upgrades as well as help desk here in the States. If you're a larger customer, over 2,000 users in your SharePoint site, there is an additional per account enterprise support fee, which I'll get into. If you are a small customer, we also have special pricing for you as well. So let's talk about the larger customers. So as you can see, if you have less than, look at that, I can just kind of point up here. That's kind of cool. If you have less than 2,000 SharePoint users, there's no additional enterprise support fee. If you are between 2,000 and 10,000 users, there is a per account fee, not per product. So if you have 10 products, this is only applied once to your account of $2,500 a year for support of our larger customers. As you get over 10,000 to 100,000, it jumps to $13K, and then if you're over 100,000, it's $39K per account, not per product. If you're right on the cusp, give us a call. We can talk about it, maybe create something in between. It's very hard to make these levels and have it fit the whole world. We didn't want 100 levels, so we started with these 4. And definitely we're open for discussions with you all. But it's very similar to how our pricing scaled for web front ends or servers running Microsoft Foundation Web App Services. But in SharePoint Online, we don't have a scaling factor, and we didn't want to go a per user price. So we created this additional support fee based on just the number of users, the number of tickets, the amount of value that our customers are getting from our products. Similarly, if you are a very small business, so if you are a corporate business that's under 100 employees, if you're a not-for-profit that's under 300 employees, we do a maintenance-only pricing for a perpetual license. So that means instead of the $3,995, you'll simply pay the maintenance cost of $870 or $890, and that will give you first year support and a perpetual license. Each year thereafter will be the same maintenance price if you want to keep that going, but it allows our smaller customers to really take advantage of these products at a much lower cost than a normal customer. If you are a not-for-profit or education group over 300 employees, we do have our NFP pricing, which is 10% off of retail. We also have these products all in the GSA schedule, so GSA pricing is available for our government customers as well. All right, that's a mouthful right there. But just to show you, if you're just a regular 1,000-person company and you want to buy this product, it's $3,995 the first year, which gives you perpetual license support and maintenance. Second year, there it is, there's the number. Your renewal will be 22% of that, which is $878.90. If you're over 2,000, let's say you're at 5,000 online users, and you have 2 products, you can see here that you can see here that the enterprise support cost of $24.95 is applied in year 1. Here's your 2 product purchases. One's $39.95, one's $18.50. So your year 1 total is this. Oh, I see why it's doing that. I keep trying to highlight. And then the renewal in year 2 is that enterprise support fee, and then just the maintenance of those 2 products, right? So then your yearly cost is that if you want to stay on there. All right, and then you can always add more products at just the product pricing schedule. So let's go take a look at how those pricing works by taking a quick tour of our website. So go ahead and drag this over. Okay, so at bamboosolutions.com, under the products section, we have the blue products, which are for SharePoint Online. We also have details of the small business pricing and discounts. And then we have our on-prem products, which are supporting 16, 19, and 22 classic pages. So let's go ahead and jump into our full list of SharePoint Online products. You can see these blue boxes have a nice description of each product, so you can kind of visually run through these and see one of our best sellers is Calendar Plus. Alerts Plus is a new product that we have rewritten from our on-prem world that's really taking off out there. It allows you to create customized alerts based on business rules that can be sent to users from data within SharePoint. Column level security, data viewer. There's our Directory Plus. We also have a free version of that without the filtering. List rollup, list bulk import, list print, KPI, navigators, and then there's Org Chart Plus, which is coming soon. So there's really nothing in this page. So what we'll do is we'll just take a quick look at, let's say, Calendar Plus. All product pages are set up the same. You've got a nice overview. There's usually a video of how the product works, some screenshots. Calendar Plus now supports bringing in calendars from Exchange as well as from site collections, lists, and libraries. But right here in our try by button, you click that, and then you can have the trial tab. You just grab that, add to your cart, check out, no credit card needed. Then you get the installation files that will work for 30 days within your tenant at no cost. If you have trouble installing, want some help, our help desk is available to you for those 30 days at no charge. We really want you to have a full customer experience in working with these products. All right, so once you've installed a product into your app catalog, which simply is drag and dropping it in, you can add it to a page. And once you've added it to a page, this is something in my navigation up here, you get the org chart. And this is one view of the org chart. We're going to get into the configuration of it in a second, where we're starting with Courtney Edwards at the top, and then all of her direct reports. Within each of these cards is information that you that shows the title of the person and where they're from, but we also have information by clicking on hello. Hold on. That's working. Why is my employee information working? I have to do, there we go. All right. Great demo. Again, pre-release. So in here, we've got the email for the person, department, business phone. We grab as much information as we can. And if any of the fields are blank, we don't show them so that you don't get a lot of cluttered things that don't have data in it. But from within here, I can actually start a Teams chat, phone call, video call, set appointment, or drop an email. So if I click this email, it will actually pick up an email, and I'll be able to send that out to the users. I can start a Teams call and the like. So in addition to this, if I wanted to browse in this version down to see who Michael Hurley is direct reports, I click his name, he comes to the top, and then you see all of this one level down. If I want to see who reported to Nicole, it actually says there's no direct reports available for that user. So kind of nice. And again, I can go into each of these informations and go ahead and do the things I need to do for that. So what I have here is the configuration setup. Go away. How do I get rid of this? That. I want the thing behind this. There we go. All right, so I've added it to a page. The Graph API will ask for a couple permissions, and then you can go ahead and begin configuring it. So within this, we've got essentially the query filters, which allows you to say, you know what, for this org chart, I only want a department that includes, does not include, or starts with, right? So each of these choices allow you to do that, and you can put multiple choices together with ors and ands that will help build the organizational structure. There's going to be a new section in here that shows you who do you want to start with as the top of your org structure. In here, we can display some search filters or not. And then also we've got our two views. So the simple is only two views at a time. And then a single page tree actually shows the full structure from your starting node down with the space that you have. So you can sort of highlight the users and then see who their direct reports are and who they report to in there. We have a lot of logic built in for recursion prevention so that we don't get infinite loops. And it should work very well with the data, but you can see it's pretty responsive. And again, in this view, I've got my action buttons as well. And off I go. You can view this in full screen. We are not going to support the downloading and printing in the first release. We've got just some things that we need to fix on that and the like, but you can see it's pretty straightforward. And again, the product itself can be added to one or more than one page just by going into your catalog, typing in org, and then there is Org Chart Plus by Bamboo, which allows you to add it in there. And it's going to have just a lot of great features for navigating and viewing your org charts in whatever structure you want, whether it's this full structure or just the simplified version of 2 levels at a time. Now, of course, you can move down level after level, right? So, you know, but again, in this view, you're seeing a little more of an adaptive card and then being able to navigate up and down using this piece here. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to show today as a preview. Any questions? Uh-oh. Are you not seeing my screen? So the release date is this next sprint. So it will be in the next 2 weeks. I will go ahead and email everybody when it is available for install. But we're working on the documentation now. We're in final throes of testing, and we need to finish the starting node piece feature. Another question coming in. So in Employee Directory Plus, you can add all sorts of items to the card. So I believe that feature is either going to be in the first release or it will be in the second. But it is our idea to go ahead and be able to get a list of attributes from Active Directory and decide to turn them on or off in the cards. So printing was supposed to be available this time, but we've got just so many font issues in spacing it out. So we're going to get that into the next release, which hopefully will within 30, 45 days. We just didn't want to delay the first release, which is actually displaying it, get people using it, get the trials going. But the printing will be there soon. We are super excited because we've gotten at least 5 requests for trials just from the one little product card. So we know this is something that is really needed out there in the market, and we hope this satisfies your needs. Does our Azure Active Directory info get? Well, no. So this product is a piece of software that is installed into your tenant, right? So there is no talkback to Bamboo. It is not a software as a service. We store no data here at Bamboo. We have no access to this. As a matter of fact, when you go to upgrade the product, you need to grab it from your account and do it yourself. So we are not touching your data. We do not have any access to your data. This is all done within your M365 tenant. So those non-human users, service accounts in your directory, so we can go ahead and through our filtering, we're pretty much able to get rid of those, either by saying things like that people that don't have an employee ID don't include, certain emails that contains a certain letter like a service account or service. So there are lots of ways to filter out the non-human accounts so that it's not cluttered. So we're happy to work with you on that. And if there's something we're missing or you've got some way of tagging it that we've missed, let us know and we'll add that into our filter queue. Awesome. And was that clear on the fact that this is a piece of software, Gene, and not a SaaS? Oh, so supporting and showing vacancies. There's so many ways we're going to go with this product, including skill sets, um, openings, things like that. And what we want to be able to do is not only point to Active Directory, which is where we're starting, but you could also create a list of vacancies and attributes and skills, um, that you can include together with the data from Active Directory. So you can actually combine data together so that you can show other things besides what's in Active Directory. Yeah, so the extensions, the custom attribute extensions is supported in Employee Directory Plus and will be supported in Org Chart Plus as well. Not on the first release, but soon thereafter. It's all built with the same framework, so all filtering functionality will be there the same. So no custom data sources yet, but we are going to build both a REST API so that you can reach out to things like Workday, or other HR applications that may have information that's better than Active Directory, but also to local lists as well. So that's going to be both for Employee Directory Plus as well as Org Chart Plus. So as of today, it is just Active Directory, or I believe it's called Entra, right? Got to keep up with these names. Um, but that's where we're starting. Awesome. All right, folks. So you'll get an email from me when this product is ready for trial. And again, we'll instruct you on how to get those trials, and we're here to help. Just simply email support@bamboosolutions.com if you need installation help, a walkthrough, or email me, and we'll jump on and do a screen share and get you going nice and quick. But we thank you all for joining us. Oh, I think there's one more question coming in. Oh, thank you so much. From one of our existing customers. They love this product. That's great. That makes me feel really good. We continue to invest in making SharePoint experience better for you and your users. And thank you all for your ongoing continued support. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Leah.